Hello, and welcome to Mythical Journeys, the podcast where we explore the stories that shaped ancient cultures. I'm your host, Jake, a history lover.
And I'm your co-host, Maya, an art enthusiast. Today we're traveling to the shores of ancient Japan to tell a story of trickery, cruelty, and incredible kindness. The White Rabbit of Inaba.
This is a classic, Maya.
It is.
It comes from the Kojiki, Japan's oldest surviving book, which means this story has been told for over, 1,300 years? It begins with a very clever and maybe a little too clever white rabbit.
So this rabbit is on the remote Oki Island and has this burning desire to cross the sea to the mainland of Inaba. The problem? No boat. The solution? Pure cunning.
Right, he spots the wani, these fierce sea creatures, often imagined as sharks or mythical crocodiles.
And he lays a wager.
He tells the wani, let's see whose family is bigger, yours or mine. Line up all your relatives from here to the mainland, and I'll hop across and count you. The wani, intrigued, agree, and they form a living bridge across the water.
The rabbit's plan works perfectly. I mean, he hops from back to back, getting closer and closer to his destination. But just as he's about to make the final leap to land, he can't resist a bit of gloating. He shouts, "You were all just my bridge. I tricked you."
A classic trickster mistake.
Oh, totally.
You never, ever taunt the giant sea monsters. The very last wani in line lunges, grabs the rabbit, and in a flash of fury, strips off every last piece of his fur.
Oh, it's such a brutal image. The poor thing is left raw and shivering on the beach in absolute agony.
Wow.
And just then, this grand procession of 80 divine brothers, the Yasogami, marches past. They're all traveling to win the hand of the beautiful princess Yagamihime.
And you'd think a group of gods would offer some, divine intervention, but no.
Nope.
These brothers are arrogant and cruel. They see the rabbit suffering and decide to play a sick joke. They tell him, "Hey, rabbit, go wash yourself in the salty ocean, then climb a mountain and let the wind dry you."
It's just horrifying.
Right?
It's like the worst first aid advice in history. The salt water sears his raw skin, and as the wind blows, his skin cracks and bleeds, making the pain 1,000 times worse. The brothers just laugh and continue on their way.
But the story doesn't end there.
No.
Lagging far behind is the youngest brother, a god named Onamuchi, who we'll later know as the great deity Okuninushi. He's been forced to serve as his brother's bag carrier, so he arrives last.
And his reaction it's completely different. He sees the rabbit weeping in pain and is just filled with compassion. He kneels down and gives him actual healing advice. He says, first, go to the river mouth and wash all that salt water away with fresh, pure water. Then, gather the soft pollen from the cattail flowers by the riverbank, spread it on the ground, and roll in it until you're covered.
So the rabbit follows his instructions. The fresh water cleanses his wounds.
And the cattail pollen acts as this natural, soothing balm. His skin heals, and his beautiful white fur grows back completely.
What's lovely and tender scene, especially after the cruelty of the brothers, the visual of that soft, golden pollen healing him is something that has really stuck with artists for centuries. That moment, the rabbit reveals he's a powerful god.
Wow.
In gratitude, he makes a prophecy. He tells Okuninushi, your brothers will never win the princess. It is you, the one with the kind heart and the heavy bag, who will marry her.
And of course, the prophecy comes true. It's such a powerful lesson, right? True worth isn't about status or power, but about compassion. That visual of Okuninushi helping the rabbit is just so iconic.
Speaking of iconic images, that scene is the perfect way to truly connect with this story.
It really is. And that's why our sponsor, Kamipuzzles, has chosen that very moment for one of their stunning designs.
Oh, nice.
They've created a beautiful ukiyo-e-style jigsaw puzzle of Okuninushi healing the White Rabbit. It's a wonderful way to piece together this moment of kindness, and it's available in 500, 1,000, and even 2,000 pieces for true puzzle lovers.
A fantastic way to bring a piece of mythology right into your home. This story reminds us that, sometimes the greatest strength is found in gentleness.
Well said, Jake. That's all the time we have for today's journey.
Thanks for listening, and the special thanks to our sponsor. Remember them from Izumo, Kamipuzzles, piecing the myths together.
Now, here's a question we'd like you to think about. The rabbit is first punished for his clever trickery, but is ultimately saved and healed. What do you think this myth teaches us about the relationship between cleverness, suffering, and sincerity?